It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. It's Monday evening, January 23rd, 2017. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude, S&P, gold, euro, and FDAX this evening. Crude is bullish and trying to retest the high of a bull channel this evening, but the measured move resistance is standing smack in the way. So we're looking for traps at previous levels of support to allow us to buy a low tomorrow. Even the S&P is bullish and trying to complete the measured move this evening, but the recent price action suggests the buyers may not be too eager to buy this high. So we're looking for a pullback into the battle zone tomorrow on the E-mini. The gold, the yellow metal, is bullish and trying to retest the high of a bull spike in channel this evening, but a pending trading range may stop the bulls in their tracks tomorrow, and we may see price pushed lower. Waiting for some more confirmation here on the gold in the short term. Going to plan for the yellow metal here tomorrow. How about the euro? The euro is bullish and trading at the high of a short-term bull channel and measured move this evening, which tells us to wait for rotation back to the low of the channel. Those euro buyers would love to be able to buy low to low of that channel tomorrow. And of course, we can't forget about the FDAX. FDAX went on a wild ride today. It's range bound and bullish as the buyers try to run back into the range and push all the way through to complete the pendulum swing on the other side tomorrow. We saw how powerful the pendulum swing was on crude oil at the end of last week. We got one happening on the FDAX for tomorrow as well. We're back in the action after a weekend break. Hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. Got a ton of awesome trading opportunities setting up for tomorrow. I have another great newsletter in store for you guys and gals. But before we jump into our charts and put the plan together for a Tuesday session, I want to remind you, the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is here on our blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video on our YouTube channel, it's only a small portion on the YouTube channel. Not to worry, there's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link and come join me on the blog at Sideways Markets for the full-length version. While you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list. I'll send you an email every evening, Monday through Thursday, when this nightly newsletter goes live. Follow me on social. I've got lots of charts being updated throughout the day and always posting interesting stuff on the social media pages. Follow those in the lower left-hand corner. Below the video tonight, don't forget to download those charts. You can have all the charts in tonight's video locked and loaded and ready for your trading session tomorrow. Download those charts by following that link below the video. And please don't forget, upper right-hand corner, you're going to learn more with me in 90 minutes on that free pass than you will anywhere else on the interwebs. I can guarantee you that. Grab your free pass if you're not yet a member here at School of Trade. And if you're brand new here to the SOT community, let me be the first one to tell you welcome aboard. And make sure you check out that frequently asked questions page on the right-hand side that we can get the who, what, where, when, and why. We're known as being the industry standard in futures trading strategies and professional grade education. And of course, don't forget, you know me, I'm always here hanging out, waiting to answer your questions. Hit me on the live support tool. Use that live support on the right-hand side of the website if you have any questions along the way. Boy, oh boy, what a great weekend. It was raining cats and dogs. I haven't seen rain this significant in Los Angeles County here in the 10 years I've lived here. What a wet weekend we had. It was a great weekend, though, to buckle down with a good book or a good football game. American football, of course. Hope you guys had a great weekend out there. Back in the action, though. Back in the action. Another big week ahead of us here this week. Of course, tomorrow's Tuesday, January the 24th. Let's get ready for that session. No major news on the schedule coming out from the overnight Asian session, so nothing to worry about there. We got some big news here tomorrow on the calendar, but really all the eyeballs are pointed to Friday morning's GDP. We're going to get a look at what the end of last year, right? That's going to be the GDP report from the fourth quarter of last year. So if you're wondering what the big news of the week is, it's going to be that GDP report right on Friday. We're also going to see some housing numbers out this week, right? Also going to see some housing numbers tomorrow. We're going to hear from the existing home sales, right? We'll get the manufacturing, of course, later on this week, right? Going to be a big week for a lot of big headlining news here this week. Tomorrow, though, Tuesday, January 24th, as you can see, they're not going to make us wait very long tomorrow morning. The London session, of course, opens up at 3 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to hear from France, Germany. We'll hear from the ECB tomorrow morning. It's a big news, right, coming out. And, of course, we're going to be hearing more about the old Brexit situation, right, happening in the UK tomorrow morning. So lots of headline numbers coming out tomorrow. Be aware of those numbers if you're trading the London session. If you're with me tomorrow morning in the trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time, don't forget, we trade together every day, right? Come out and join me tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And with me tomorrow, we get the PMI manufacturing, the existing home sales. Those will be the two numbers to keep in mind. And of course, it's right about that, right, 10 o'clock hour. So definitely looking forward to another really great day tomorrow. Got a bunch of news happening early in the session. Hopefully that will widen out those trading ranges so we can trade back and forth, right, as the market, right, uses those levels going into the U.S. session. Again, big news weighted towards the end of the week, but I don't think we have to wait too long to get some volatility here this week. Got a great day today and looking for another big day here with you guys tomorrow. Again, don't forget, come out and join me tomorrow. We'll be trading together in real time at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Let's keep going. Let's jump right in. Take a look at crude. We'll go crude, S&P, gold, euro. We can't forget about the FDAX tonight. Got a very interesting set of charts here to look at tonight. Starting out here on the black gold, right, the Texas T, the crude oil futures. Crude is bullish and trying to retest the high of a bull channel this evening. But that measured move, right, that measured move resistance also have a falling resistance trend line. Those are standing in the way, which tells the buyers to look for traps below that reversal line at 62 to allow them to buy low tomorrow. One thing to keep in mind is that falling resistance trend line, which may keep the buyers honest and keep them from getting too aggressive, and it may give the sellers a shot at a reversal. We need to get some proof here, though, for a reversal right now. Sellers will be looking for a successful breakout pullback below that 52.62 reversal line for a move back down to Friday's low. Now, the very first thing that stands out on this chart is we have a couple measured moves, and these measured moves are really important because as the price goes higher here, you want to really focus on resisting buying high. So, for example, when the market's bullish, buyers will keep buying until they get to their objective, right? What's their objective? It's usually a measured move. This may not be drawn to scale here, right? But we measure it up, right? There's the measured move. So what happens is once we get to that measured move, right, now we go looking for opportunities to buy low, right? Buy low. So for example, right, look left, find ourselves a reversal line, right? That's a great spot for it, right? We look for price, two-legged correction, back to an area of support. We'll look to buy it, right, on the way back up. Well, sometimes what happens, though, is that pullback goes a little bit further, right, and then, of course, runs back up to retest that high. But now you've got to keep in mind, right, we have one leg, two leg, and now three legs. So now we end up getting a measured move just above, right, where that prior measured move is. That's what's happening here tonight on crude oil. So again, now we go back to the high. Got to be careful now. I don't want to buy through the high because I'm going right into the next measured move. So of course, what do? Right? We look for price to pull back off that high, right? So we can buy it back up again. So the reality is, even if it runs right back up to retest that high, got to be careful not to buy high because again, the way this small measured legs are setting up right now on crude oil, right? Every time it goes back to the high, we're expecting to see a little push through it, but you got that measured movement overhead. So find those trend lines, right? Find that channel low and keep looking to buy those dips. Keep looking to buy those dips. What you'll hear me say quite often is as the market starts to run, right, for example, up to a measured move, right, just stay focused at wait for the pullback and then look for traps, right? Trap, and look to buy, right, below those lows, right? Trap low, back up until we can get through it, right, and have enough open space up there, right, without running into a measured move. So here's that example I was talking about earlier, right? So here's that measured like 1, 2. Now you measure these things, they're about 50 ticks each, which is just barely enough to make them reliable, right? When it comes to crude oil, we talk about this all the time. When it comes to measured moves, I like to use on crude, of course, right? Every market's different. I like to use, 50 ticks, about $0.50. Anything less than that, you're not going to see a lot of reliability, right? Remember what I always say, right? I say this throughout the free trial all the time. There's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there's the reliable way to do this, right? I want to focus on the most reliable. When it comes to crude, right, it's those 50 ticks or more, right? So here we go. So there's that measured move overhead, and so that means if we run right back up, right, be careful here. Now look to, right, buy the pullback, right? So be careful buying into that high, right, just because you've got the next measured move going higher. It won't be until we can really run, right, through the measured move, then we'll be able to really tell that the buyers are more aggressive, right? They're more interested in buying high, right, for that move back up to retest that high. So where does that put us right now? Well, we have the measured move, right? You can see they're kind of rolling around off this measured move back and forth. We have this falling resistance. So really right now, this area right here is really going to be, right, a real hot spot here for both sides, buyers and sellers. Obviously here the buyers would love to get this price down into that area, right, below the 62, trap low, buy low, and not worry about buying into that overhead resistance, right? Then of course we go up, complete that measured move, right? Then find your range, right? Trap low, and then we can keep, right? We can keep pretty much rinse and repeat as we go higher. So that's really going to be key here. Unless this thing just torches through all these levels of resistance, which may happen, by the way, right? This is crude. We may wake up tomorrow morning and see this market just strong move higher here. And of course, same thing, right? Big strong move higher. We expect price to pull back a little bit and give us a shot to buy it right on the way up to retest Friday's high. You kind of see how they almost had that Friday's low hit, and of course we're kind of rotating inside of last Friday's session, that big run, right, that we had in last Friday's session coming off that pendulum swing. Now, what about the bears right now? What can the bears be looking for here right now? Well, again, just like we said earlier, that 62 area has a lot of buyers' eyeballs on it. So if we can get a real strong, what I call successful breakout pullback. When you hear me say this word, successful breakout pullback, what it means is, it means I want to see enough strength to get the moving average below a key area of support or resistance, right? In this case, it's going to be that 62. So obviously, if we just run lower here, this is not going to be a successful breakout pullback right there, right? But if they go lower, right, can hold it, then once we can get that moving average right below the 62, then we can start to think about, right, being a reliable selling opportunity here. So just be careful about something like this tomorrow, right? We'll be watching out here for, you know, a scenario like this where it breaks down, trap low, failure, and then right back up, right? So that's obviously what those buyers are going to be drooling over, right? To buy low, seller failure, and then right back up. Or, right, maybe we really take off the downside. Maybe it doesn't just little small little thing here, right? But if it keeps going through it, real strong move, then obviously hold it, and then that next, right, sell, the second one will always be, right, the most reliable, because at that point it'll be a bear, right, a bear market. Friday's low will definitely be the objective here, right, for those bears. And then once we get down there, you know, again, right, situation where we just roll through it, right, down to that low, big strong move in one direction. Don't sell low, right? Sell high, right? And keep looking to sell, right, above those prior swings, right? So same thing applies going lower as well, right? If we just runs, don't chase after it, right? Wait to sell the pop back up, right? And sell it back down. And don't forget, guys, this is kind of the game plan for tomorrow, but we'll be doing this together with all of our students at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And remember, right, go over all the technical analysis, right? Using all these trend lines, moving averages, right? Measured moves. I cover that in the intermediate course. And then in the advanced course, we go over the exact entry triggers, getting in and getting out of each trade, right? So I got you covered here, guys, as students here at School of Trade. Let's keep going. Got the crude here again. Keep buying low, right? That's the most important thing right now on the crude. You focus on buying low, and you'll be just fine for tomorrow. How about some S&P? The E-mini. Yeah, we're definitely bullish, trying to complete that measured move tonight, but the most recent price action suggests the buyers may not be too eager to buy this high. Look at those dojis to finish off the session. So our plan tomorrow, we'll be looking for a pullback into the battle zone to allow us to, quote unquote, buy low, or we need to see continued strength higher so we can buy pullbacks. If price runs higher, the measured move's up there at 66, right? So we want to avoid chasing the move higher if it just runs for some crazy reason. So if it does just run higher, we'll focus on traps, we'll focus on failures to the downside, right, if we don't get the pullback right now. Sellers, I haven't forgot about you guys and gals, need to be careful trying to call a reversal until we see a successful breakout pullback below that battle zone for move back down to retest today's low. So as you can see here right now, I think really the most important thing is this bull channel, right? This bull channel, as you can see here, trying to finish off, right, what we would call channel rotation from the low to the high to the low, right, and the low to the high. We should have had no problem finishing off that rotation, and then we look to buy that dip, right, for the move up to that measured move. So really right now, the low of that channel really is your best friend if you're a buyer right now. It's a key level of support. We have the battle zone waiting below. Really the battle zone is this last major pullback, right, with this little tiny correction right there. So this area between 57 and 3/4 down to 56 even. So really at this point right now, buyers would love to get this price pulling back, and then have a chance to buy it. If we can break through it, right, then obviously that's where those sellers can get involved here right now. Big